5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Welcome to DFW Roundtable Podcast, Texas' most powerful and entertaining podcast, bringing you the best and entertaining interviews from the industry's top music entertainers, sports athletes, and much more. So grab a seat and a cold one and watch, listen, and enjoy. And now, here is your host, Ruben Campos.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of DFW Roundtable. It is truly my pleasure to introduce my next guest, coming to us from West Texas. Ladies and gentlemen, Jordan Rodriguez of Grupo Asalto. Jordan, welcome to the show, brother.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me.
Man, I'm excited, bro. It's been a while watching you guys staying busy in the social media platforms, brother, watching you guys having some shows across Texas and throughout. And finally get the pleasure, first and foremost, Jordan, to meet you, brother. It's great to meet you, bro. And then most importantly, man, get to talk about Asalto, man, because Asalto is on the rise, ladies and gentlemen. This is a band that I call a powerhouse band that brings it not only musically, but live as well. So stay tuned, watch this whole episode, because we're going to talk about the music, where you can get it, where you can go watch it, but most importantly, where they're going to be at. So you can go check them out. So with that being said, Jordan, let's jump into it, brother.
Absolutely, man. We're definitely excited for our future. We're excited for the things that are going on here at Grupo Asalto. We've been very fortunate that the year has just been a blessing starting off. God has definitely blessed us in abundance starting off this year. And so we're going with the momentum, man. We're going with the release of our new album, Con Amor, Sin Amor, Seguiremos. We're definitely pushing off the momentum that we started the year off with, releasing that. Of course, it's still not available on all digital platforms as of now, because we're still pushing the videos. What we did, what we felt was different, and that was to release a full visual album. Usually what everybody does, man, they're releasing, 10 songs, Apple Music, Spotify, YouTube Music, and boom, you have it right there. I decided to take a different approach with my band in giving everybody something to watch, something to see, giving them a chance to connect with, not only myself, but the members of Grupo Asalto, for them to see our personalities. And if you watch even our latest EP that we had done back in May, we did that EP, and that was Más Fuerte Que Ayer. That was a full visual EP, and then it got released over to the digital platforms. So we kind of did that same thing here, but instead we separated it a little bit to where people would have time to soak in the album and the singles a little bit more. And so but once again, man, the reason I do the things that I do is because I want the people out there to get to know us, to see our faces, to see how we react with one another, and to see, our chemistry, man, more or less of how we perform and how we connect as a unit, man. The chemistry is just amazing. And hopefully the people that watch our videos are able to see that through everything that we do. And so hopefully they're able to see that and catch a connection with Grupo Asalto ourselves.
I agree, brother. And I got a hats off to you, man, on the creativeness, because to your point, it's usually backwards where you release a single, then months later, right, the video comes out. I like your theory behind it, man, saying, hey, I want them first and foremost to see us. And then secondly, to hear our music and get to know us better, because you're right, man. It's that connection that you want to make with your fans that makes a big difference, man. So kudos to you on that, man. And how many songs total, brother, on the visual?
So new songs, there's a total of 10. Back in July, when we first started working on the new album, we had released a song called Te Quiero Amar. And that song just kind of blew up for us out of nowhere. It was the first original that I've written along with one of my buddies from Florida, Jonathan. Um, and we kind of just let it simmer, to be honest with you, man. The album was supposed to come out sooner, but the song was just getting so much momentum. It was getting heard so much that I told the guys, I said, you know what, let's let this one simmer, and let's let the album, because we had just released the EP, bro. I mean, the EP was released in May or June, and then Te Quiero Amar came out July. We while we were out in Vegas, we actually recorded that video. And so I told the guys, I said, you know what, let's let that simmer. Let's let it go. I mean, because we didn't expect for it to take off the way it did, man. The way that song took off um, was just a blessing. It was amazing. And so whenever it took off, I told the guys, I said, man, let's hold on the rest of the album. and see what it does, and then it gives us something to release for the beginning of the year, something fresh, something new. That way, and when I mean fresh and new, I'm not talking about, you know, being fresh and new to the industry. I'm saying something fresh and new released from Grupo Asalto. And
Agree.
so
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
it was definitely a blessing, man. It was something cool. And so it's been going great for us, man.
So funny you mentioned that because when you say something fresh, something new, man, from Asalto, it sounds like Jordan, you always try to keep, like we call it, man, in the business, try to raise the bar. Every project
Absolutely.
you make, you try to raise the bar, right? So, which takes me to my next thing, man. Gracias a ti. That's your most recent one, right? So,
Yes,
a
sir.
key point for the viewers out there. Jordan just mentioned that it's a visual, so I'm assuming 100% it's on YouTube, but not that they can go check it
Absolutely.
out.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So that is the latest single by Asalto. So talk to me a little bit about this, man. What is this song about, bro? How did it come into fruition, man?
Well, this song, it actually means a lot to me, man, because the guy that wrote this song, I grew up watching him. His name's Armando Gracia. He came from a band called Grupo Alasan.
Oh yeah,
You know, if people know music, they know that Alasan was signed with Freddie Records, and Armando and of course Hector. They were a dynamic duo of vocals and talent. And we went to go play in Pasadena, and of course we were still working on the stuff for the album. And this was June of 2025. And I had told my Bajo player, I said, "Hey, dude," I said, invite those guys out to our show, see if they'll come." Like, I've always watched them. I've always been a fan of them. So
right,
we would, I mean, they would answer us back, bro. Like we would message him or we would whatever. And it just so happened my Bajo player, David, had his number. He had Armando's number. And of course, they would talk about their Macias Bajos and stuff. So he had the contact. And so he calls him and he goes, "Armando, yeah, bro, what's going on? Hey, we're over here at Winter's Bar in Pasadena. How far are you?" "No, hombre, bro, I'm right down the road." So he shows up, man. And of course, for me, like I said, I've always watched this guy, and I'm like, man, dude, that's
right,
Armando Gracia. Well, he goes in, bro, and he like, hey, I told him, I said, "Bro, will you play a song with us during sound check?" And he's like, "Yeah, bro, let's do it, whatever." So we start jamming, and of course, we get carried away. We go outside, and he goes, "Jordan, let me talk to you." And I was like, "Oh, what's he gonna say? Like,
right,
is he gonna?" You don't know, like, if consejos, like, you don't know what's coming. What can I do to be better? And I've always looked up to this guy as a musician, as a singer. And of
right.
course, anybody that knows me knows that I struggle with even liking my own voice. And so I'm like, well, maybe he's fixing to talk to me and tell me, hey, well, if you sing like this or do this or whatever. But no, man, he calls me over there. He goes, "Bro, let me show you this song." And I was like, "Okay, cool." So he starts playing it, man. He had a band back then called Insuperable, and they recorded the track. He goes, "Want you to have it." I was like, "What?" He goes, "I
Wow.
want you to have this track." And I'm just freaking out, man, because of course, in the music industry, the really good songs, we usually buy them from
Yes.
other writers. Like for
Right.
me, I buy from like Yayo Anguiano. He's a Billboard writer, man. And so I'm used to paying money for these things. And so when
Yeah.
he's like, "I want you to have it, like I want you to do it." And I looked at him and I'm like, "Bro, that sounds good what you have already. We don't need to do it." And he goes, "No, Asalto needs to do it." He's like, I need to hear this song like the way I want to hear it." And to me, I'm thinking like, well, why are you choosing me? Like who am I to be chosen for this? And so he shows me the song and I'm blown away, man. And I'm like listening to it, but in my head, I'm like, "Oh, dude, there should have been a stop right there. You should have done this right there." So my mind was already going a million miles per hour, man, thinking of the song and along with all the nerves that were everywhere with being there with Armando,
Exactly.
it was crazy, man. And so, you know, it was definitely a God moment that he was there. We're right place, right time, right song, right everything. That it all felt good, man. And the lyrics are so beautiful, and it just it's a blessing, bro.
Well, I got to tell you, man, the arrangement. Who worked on the arrangement, brother? Was that a combination of you and him, or is that all you?
So Armando pretty much had the arrangement done, but in his words, he's like, "I need you to asaltofy it." He was like,
Como
because
dice, at the spices, no.
yeah, like he told me,
Yes.
he's like, "Bro," he's like, "Asalto has a sound, whether you believe it or not.
Mhm.
Asalto has a sound." He was like, "And I need you to change this song." So
Yeah.
his was more of that soft norteño light sound. And I kind of think of us as a more hardcore norteño light sound.
Hmm.
And so he's like, add what you want to it. And so, a lot of the flavors were there already, but it was one of those things like the flavors can always be better, bro. You can always add something
Agree.
to something to make it taste better. And
Yeah.
me and the guys, we listened to it and bro, I will be honest with you. Back in the day, back before, I produced mainly everything Asalto released, and I still do. But the guys that I have now, and even back to Anthony Perez and Aaron Holler when I had them, they're very involved. And so they're very good at telling me like, hey bro, that sounds badass, but let's try
Yeah.
this right here. And so we'll go back and we'll just it's kind of those things, man. Like, you bake a cake 17 times, but it's not always gonna come out the same. You gotta
That's
decide
right. That's
which one's
right.
the best one. And so, just sitting there with the guys and I sent the dummy tracks over to Armando and he was like, bro, that's what I'm talking about. What the hell? And so like I said, man, it's a combination of our producer Anthony, our executive producer Efren, um, and just all the guys in the band, man. I mean, I throw a lot of the ideas there, but it's up to them to it's like a coach and a player, man. I can't make my quarterback throw a certain way, but I can call the play. And so, I it's kind of how it works with us, man. I call the play and they score. It's pretty much, man, is how it goes.
So there's no wonder, brother, why this song has a special meaning for you right there. And what you just mentioned right there is that's a great connection to have, and you'll always be attached to that song right there based on what you're telling
Yes,
me,
sir.
man. Yeah, that's
Yes,
cool,
sir.
man. Well, we invite everybody to go out there and check it out. Gracias a ti. Go watch the video. I watched the video, man. It's a very cool video, man. And como te digo, it brings the power. From the very start. So, yeah, great job on that, man. Jordan,
Thank you.
now, if you don't mind, brother, walk me through a little bit, man. Take us through, especially newer viewers that are just now, for the first time, hearing about Asalto, man. Right. So let's take them into account, man. Take me back a little while back, brother, when you started Asalto. How far back has Asalto been together, brother, and how did it start?
So in June, Asalto's going to be hitting 5 years. We started this band in 2021, and the band started as the Jordan Rodriguez Band. I was writing music and I was recording music just because I loved music. I had a band with my brothers and my father called Conjunto Mi Gusto, and that was the main vision. And so as I got into recording and I went to Eddie Perez, I went to him and I recorded my first album. I guess you could say my second album is Jordan Rodriguez. And right around that time, man, there was a tragic accident over here near West Texas with Javier Galvan
Oh
and
yeah.
some people at a Plainview. Well, JR Gomez called me. Saludos at JR. Called me. He said, "Hey, bro, I need some bands for this thing, and I'm just kind of getting some guys together, and we're gonna jam out, whatever." So I told him, "Yeah, bro, whatever you need, man, just count me in. I'll be there, man. I don't need money, don't need nothing. We need to raise this money for the families, whatever." He goes,
Right.
"Cool." Well, literally like a few days later, he sends me an itinerary and it says 10 p.m. to 11 p.m., the Jordan Rodriguez band. And I looked at it and I was like, La verga.
Wow.
What do you mean? And he was like, what's wrong, bro? I said, dude, what the hell? Like, I don't have a band. Like, what do you mean? He's
Yeah.
like, he's like, hey, carnal, guess what? So what? Find one. Fuck.
Yeah.
So I'm like, damn, okay, let me find one. So I message all the original guys of Grupo Asalto and I tell them like, hey, this happened, blah, blah. There's not much money. I mean, I'll give y'all some gas money out of my pocket. Whatever we can do. Can we make this show happen? Yeah. So we threw like 3 or 4 practices, man. And about the second or third practice, me and my cousin Joe, who was my Vallejo player at the time, we're driving back home. And I told him, I said, bro, I said, you already know me, man. Like, I'm not a selfish person. And to each their own, man. I'm not putting anybody down. But I said, I do not want to be called the Jordan Rodriguez band because I'm not getting on stage by myself. We're a group, bro. We need to figure this out. We got to have a group name and move forward. And so he's like, well, what do you want to do? And at the time, bro, I kid you not, bro, we were driving through a hellstorm. There was dirt flying everywhere. And literally the area we drove through, there was a tornado. And so
Oh
one of the
wow.
times we look up, bro, we're driving in the grass. And I had barely got my new truck. And I told my cousin, he had came up, he's like, man, we could be Tormenta or we could be Arenales or we could be. And I'm like, no, dog, like that doesn't even sound intriguing. Like we need something like con huevos. Like we need a get in
Yeah.
it. And so he was like, man, bro, my cousin always had this thing, and he wouldn't say horrible or terrible. He always said pitiful. He was like, bro, this thing's pitiful, bro. It's like, man, it's messing up your truck. And I was like, dude, my truck's getting assaulted right now. He looks
Boom.
up, assaulted. He goes, asalto? I was like, yeah, now that sounds badass.
Yes.
And so we got on the phone. I said, dude, start looking to see if there's another Grupo Asalto. I said, as far as our industry, I don't think there is. I said, but see what's up. There was a band that came out after us called Asalto Musical, but there was no Grupo Asalto. And so I told him, I said, that's it, man. The next day I go and I get a DBA on the name Grupo Asalto. And
That's crazy, man.
it is, man. And like I said, bro, I'll never deny God just handed me everything, bro, because that's the way it's gone. I mean, there's no other explanation to everything that I've been through besides that. And so we've we've been through some roads, man. We we did everything with Asalto. 2021, 22 were fantastic to us, man. It was a fast rise for us. And of course it's scary, man, because I'm a realistic person. I'm like, well, shit, what goes up must come down the same speed. And
Right.
so I was very cautious about the steps that I was making. Um in 2022, my father decided to take his life, and it kind of paused things for me. And
Oh,
so
jeez, man.
it was a very tragic moment for my family and I, and it's actually the anniversary is coming up March 2nd. But it was a very tragic moment for me, man. It did make me not want to play music for a while. Um, but fortunately that didn't happen, man. They were able to push me on stage. Literally, we had my dad's funeral, I believe, on March 7th or 9th. And Bino from the Tejano Music Awards fanfare calls me. He goes, "Hey, mijo, I know you just went through this and you just did this, but I need an answer. Are you gonna be here to do your slot, or what do I do?"
Chinga, that's tough,
And
man.
and
That's
so
tough.
I'm sitting here and I don't have any remorse towards being business is business, bro.
Yeah.
And so I sat there and I told him, I said, dude, I'll be there. And he was like, what?
But you know
He's
what,
like,
Jordan? I know business is business, brother, but I also know the other half because I've been there before. There's this other half, man, that's still hurting really bad.
oh yeah,
¿Verdad?
man.
But you were able to keep your focus and attention and put it all into the
Well,
stage. So
it's Asalto's very special to me, bro. And it's crazy because Joey Jimenez from Loca Pasión, he was helping me on drums at the time. Around the time that my father took his life, Joey was my drummer. And he was filling in for us and playing a lot of shows with us. That's why I say he was my drummer, man, because he was continuously
yeah,
with us. And Joey was there, bro. I want to say tomorrow's that date, February 27th, somewhere around there. Um, Joey was stood in that room, bro, while me and my dad had our last conversation about Asalto and Mi Gusto, because Asalto was starting to get so busy that it was affecting Mi Gusto. And my dad had came, dude. We were fixing to get on stage, bro, at the Office Bar and Grill in Lubbock, Texas. I'll never forget, bro. And my dad said, "Hey, what are we gonna do here?" And I told him, I said, "Dad, I feel like I want to take this route with my band. I want to try it. I want to see what I can do. I want to play music that I like." You know, my dad was real Relampagos, old school. You know,
yeah,
we played Ricky Naranjo, Mike Salgado, Relampagos, um, Hometown Boys. That's what we did, man. And I told him, I said, Dad, I want to try this new generation of music that people are listening to, your Signals and your Solidos, and of course, people are always listening to Intocable.
yeah.
And I was like, man, I want to try it. And he literally tells me, bro, he goes, well, if you're gonna do that shit, I don't want to be around to see it. And I was like, well, what do you
Wow.
mean? Because like we've always had this band that we have going now, and now you want to ruin it with this shit. And I told him, I said, Dad, you're taking all this the wrong way, man. I said, but you know what? We'll talk about it later because I'm fixing to get on stage.
Chinga, right before you
And
take stage, bro, to top it off,
right.
¿verdad?
And so
Yeah.
it was tough. And even Joey kind of looked at me like, what the hell, Jay? Because he calls me Jay.
Right.
What the
Yeah.
hell? And I was like, it's all good, bro. I said, that's how he gets mad. I mean, it's the way we were used to it, bro. I was like, it's the way he gets mad, bro. It'll be all right. He's like, you sure, Jay? And I was like, yeah, bro, it'll be all right. Let's get on stage. Let's jam, whatever, dude. We had a packed house, bro, because people knew Joey was coming. And it was just gonna be one of those things like everybody was here because they were like, what if Joey's here to
Yeah.
help these guys? There must be something good there.
Yeah.
And so it was a
Yeah.
packed house. We were actually sold out at that place. And I could just see the whole time I was on stage, it was hard for me to enjoy what I was doing because I could just see the disappointment in my dad's eyes, man. And back then, my cousin Gabriel was our engineer, and my dad always stood with Gabriel. And so I always had a thing where I like my engineers to know that I'm watching them, that I'm listening for what they're doing.
Right.
And it was hard that night because behind Gabriel was always my dad, because my dad ran
Yeah.
sound for Mi Gusto.
Yeah.
And
And he wasn't there.
so he was, man, and you can just tell he was in a state of mind of just being super upset with me. And so we finished the show, and he didn't even tell me bye that night, bro. We finished the show, we get off stage, and we're taking pictures with everybody, we're signing autographs, and I look around for him and my mom, and they weren't there. And so they turned around and took off. I sat there and I was like, man, I don't know what that was about, but hopefully it squashes before whatever. So we go along, man, and out of nowhere he calls me and he's like, son, what are you doing? Nothing. Well, I want to see the kids. So, which I thought was really weird. Like, he's never called me just to be like, hey, I want to see the kids.
Right.
So I'm like, well, cool. You want to go somewhere? And he was like, you know what? Me and your mom got to go grocery shopping. You want to meet us at the store? I said, yeah, I'll meet you at the store. Well, we're there at the store, man. He's like, hey, get what you need, son. Get whatever you need. And I was like, you sure? Well, I'd barely quit my job of about 9 years. I walked out. And he was like, get you some groceries, mijo. I'm going to take care of them, whatever. So we got some groceries. And then we finished, and he was like, let's go to McDonald's so the kids can play and we can eat, whatever. And we always had this thing, man, where whoever's debit card could go in faster, that's who would
First.
pay. And
Right.
so that day he was very adamant, man, about me not
Yeah.
paying. And so we sat there, and he was like, make sure to bring the kids by the house tomorrow. Well, that day I didn't get to go. And so I texted him and I was like, hey, Dad, I'm going to make it. I had to come to Lubbock to work. I was doing granite work in Lubbock. And he was like, let's just see the kids tomorrow, or whatever. Well, that next day, man, I want to say it was right around 10:02 a.m. I get a text from my dad and it says goodbye.
Oh my goodness,
First
bro.
thing you do, bro, is,
Jeez.
Dad, what's going on? Dad, answer me. Dad, what's going on? I'm calling him, calling my mom. No one's answering, man. And my
Jeez.
siblings are texting in because it was a family group text. My sister's texting, Dad, what the hell's going on? My brothers are all, Dad, what's up? And there was no answer. And so it was so crazy, bro. I don't up to today, I don't know why I did it, but after the funeral, they gave me my dad's phone. And so
Oh wow.
I told myself, I said, man, my dad had indoor cameras. He took his life at the home where we grew up. And I watched it, and honestly, bro, it did no good for us to text him back. You
Yeah.
know, he knew what he was doing. He turned the camera didn't face where he did it at.
Right.
And but you could hear it. You could hear everything. You could hear my mom scream. You could hear everything, man. And it did no good. And I never once got to tell him sorry, or hey, Dad, let's revisit this situation. Like, you're listening to, all that was running through my head was, I don't want to be around for this shit. Is it
Yeah.
all that kept playing
Yeah.
it? And up to today, bro, it still plays in my
Yeah.
head. But
Yeah.
I've
Something.
taught myself to, you know what, in my head, if that's what I went through to have what I have, that's why I work so hard. And
Mhm.
that's why I'll continue working, man, because we've had many downfalls, bro. Hell, in 2024, I had no band. 2024, I was calling people left, right. Matthew Luna, Johnny Sobrevilla, he had stayed helping me, and then my bass player Jake Soto came in, and he's
Yeah.
still with me till this day. And I always tell him, I said, Jake, I hope you truly see the person that I am, man, because the people that have portrayed me to be someone different than who I am, I said, they're lying, dog. I said,
Right.
I'm not that person. I said, but you know what? I said, they always judge me off of sticking up for myself. I
Yeah.
said, but I hope that you're with me all the time and that you see this. I said that I strictly work with passion, bro, and integrity. I said, and I never do anything else, man. I said, so I just truly hope that you understand that. And he does, man. He's watched it and he's like, dude, it's like I can't believe the things people have put you through just to try to tear you down. And like he
Ching out,
said,
bro.
what hurts him most, man, this dude's turned into my best friend, bro. You know, like what hurts him most, he's like, dude, you already have to live with what your father did and how you feel about
Right.
it. And it was like,
Right.
and now you have other people that are still trying to tear you down and it makes no sense. And so it's been a hell
I,
of a
s-
ride, bro, moving
I,
forward
I,
this way.
I got to tell you, brother, because I can tell you're also a spiritual person and have a lot of faith, man. But as they say, Jordan, nothing good comes without paying our dues and staying true to who we are. But now, thank you first and foremost, man. I'm so sorry, dude. That is something truly, truly drastic to go through. Credit to you, your family, to move forward on this, man. So truly sorry about that, dude. But it speaks volumes, dude, because when you look at it now, big picture, bro, and hearing what you went through, and also carrying that with you, bro. And now where I see Asalto, and I'm so glad people are watching this thing and hearing this thing, Jordan, because now they get to see the real Jordan, bro, and appreciate what they're hearing and making that connection, bro. So it just, what you just said made total sense now. And to a certain extent, man, it's great to see at Salto where it's at right now because, dude, you've paid your dues, brother. And it's great. Gracias a Dios, como dicen, bro, that it's paying off for you, bro.
Yes, sir. And that's why I say, man, God's been good and it's a struggle, bro. It's a huge struggle in doing what we do and I've taken on the responsibility of bringing on a band of teenage boys that travels with us.
Yeah.
And I try to teach them the ropes and it's not always pretty, bro. Like I tell them, I mean, everybody thinks the grass is greener on the other side, but it's green where you work on it. If you're gonna fertilize your own grass and you're gonna water your own grass and you're gonna do what you have to do for your own grass is gonna be pretty where you put it.
That's it.
And it's been a blessing, man, being able to work with these boys. They're called Grupo Zodiacal. I just want to do for them what I felt no one's ever done for us, and I want to do it correctly.
You're paying it
And
back. Yeah.
like I tell them, man, by no means in my signo sólido intocable, duelo or any of them big bands, but for where I'm at, I'm happy to take them with me. I'm happy to have them with me, and I know there's you know how the industry is, bro. There's always people like, well, what do you really have to offer them? Well, I don't have much to offer them except my knowledge and
An
keeping them
experience.
safe, keeping them
Mhm.
safe from the things that I've been through in my
Right.
experience, my musical experience. Because I have managed to put myself in front of audiences. I have managed to put myself on music charts. I have managed to write my own music. I have managed to put my own music out on digital platforms, without needing
Mhm.
like, giving uh, like royalties, I guess you could say, to any company. And so
Yeah.
that's kind of where that goes.
And anybody
So
that knows the industry, man, it's not easy when you're independent. It's a little bit different when you're with a record company, but to do it independently, and the good thing about independent is that you get to do what you want, how you want it. You've got full control, creativity, the whole thing, ¿verdad? But the other thing that the fans don't get to see or hear is they get to see you with the lights, the smoke, the packed
yeah,
houses, and they get to see the glitz and glamour like we call it, man, but they don't get to see the work that goes behind the hours on the road that you guys do, the sacrifices you guys make during the holidays to be away from
absolutely,
family, right? So that's something, and I know from feedback we've gotten from viewers, man, after they hear that, they're like, "Man, that's a different story. Thanks for sharing that," because we never see it that way, and it's good to see another side of the band we've
absolutely,
never known about, man. So yeah, man, there's a lot of grit and glory. Family sacrifices también a lot, man, from being away from home, ¿verdad? So
absolutely.
it's a teamwork, man. So talk to me about your band, brother. Let's talk about your band, bro. Would you mind introducing your band?
Yeah, man. So right now, like I said, my bass player Jake Soto, he's from Plainview, and he's had his way around the industry as well, man. And he's a great addition to the band. Um, On Baco and drums, it's crazy, man, because I've always grown up with the father-son duo, and right now I have a father-son duo on Baco and drums.
Wow.
Little David, he's actually my first drummer, bro. He was the drummer that was back with me in 2021, and he had to get out for some personal reasons. And recently, like I told you, I was struggling with the band for 2024, and going into 2025, him and his dad like started helping me for shows because my old guys Joe and Jeremy work oil field. So it was like
Right.
one weekend I had David, and the next weekend I had Jeremy and Joe. So finally, I told the Davids, I said, "Hey, would you like to come on full time?" And they both took it, man. So it's a father and son duo named David Vargas. They're both David Vargas, and they're from
Nice.
Dimmitt, Texas. And then right around the whole thing with 2024, I had a new conga player come in named Eugene Gaspar. We call him Bronco 806 because everybody says he looks just like Bronco 956. And so he came in, man. He's been a huge blessing, man. He helps however he can, and he makes things a little easy. And so my brother Juan, which we did. Okay, sorry, my son came.
No
Uh,
worries.
my my brother Juan, he had left for a little bit to go be a teacher, and he's actually like substituted his whole life and stuff, man. And recently he had a new job offer come to his plate, and he was like, "Hey man, I think I'm gonna take it so that way I'm able to play music again." So he took that job opportunity, and now he's with us. Now he's just doing the animación, which he was
Okay.
kind of doing that and playing congas before, but now he's strictly back to animación and kind of helping out with the background vocals. But that's our band, man, and I'm very fortunate to, like I said, I carry the boys from Grupo Zodiacal. They're three brothers from Tahoka, Texas, Joe Dom and Salome Lopez, and then their dad kind of travels the road with us, and kind of just moves forward, man, from there. My
Are
my
are
oldest
are they
boy,
are they available on
my
YouTube or anything for the people to watch,
they
Jordan?
are, man. We just released a new song with them called Van, and
Okay.
it's been doing amazing, man. It's something that I had one of my writers write for them, and I produced it for them at Redwood Studios, AJ Castillo Studio, and
Nice.
we used my producer Anthony to do everything, and so it went well. So it's doing good, man. So I'm glad to have them on the road as well as my wife, David's wife, Becky. They run all the merch stuff. So it's real family oriented, man. We always have our families with us. And, unfortunately, I don't always just take my kids with me, but as far as it's always just helping, you know what I mean? So
It's
that's where
always
that
good to
goes.
have family. It's always good to have family around, brother. And I believe social media TikToks is how I see you more often, dude. And
Right.
or I think I've been. Is it your sister también that runs
Yes.
promos for you as well? Okay,
Yes.
so
He does through her
that's
page.
what. It's great to see family, man, working
Yeah,
together
absolutely.
on a project, dude. So, all right. So we got that. Un saludito para todo Asalto, all the
Yes, sir.
bands out there, guys. Un saludito para ustedes. Let's talk merch, brother. I can't keep my eyes off that jersey, bro. Great looking jersey, great looking
Thank you,
hat.
man. Thank you so
So
much.
how can the folks get a hold of some Asalto swag, brother? Is it on a website or when on
So
your shows or
right now, man, we still haven't been able to get our website up. They've been working on our website for about a month now. Um, there's a lot of stuff that goes into it, man. And as much as I work and as much as I do, they're
yeah?
always kind of moving into it. And so, uh,
So the best things on your shows, ¿verdad?
yeah. So
Okay,
it's best to go to the shows, and then I mean they're more than able to message our digital platforms and um
that's
and
true.
message us, and we can always send stuff out to them, man.
Perfect, brother. Upcoming shows, dude. What where are you guys going to be at, man? Where are you guys going to be touring here next couple of weeks and month?
We got some shows coming up. In April, man, we're gonna be hitting super hard. At March, we're gonna be in San Antonio, Texas. We're doing Spring Fest, I believe is what it's called. They're at Market Square. Of course, Market Square is where they used to have the
Right.
original TMA,
Yeah,
fanfare. So, but
right.
we're gonna be headlining Saturday night, man. We're very blessed to be headlining that show Saturday night, March 14th. And then I want to say the 21st, we have a private event. The 28th, we're going to be in Levelland, Texas at the TMW Event Center. And then shooting into April, man, we're going to be heading up to Tucson, Arizona, doing a show up there at an American Legion there in Tucson. We'll be
Okay.
coming back. As we're coming back through, we'll be hitting El Paso on the 11th of April. And then April 17th and 18th, we're going to come home, repack our bags, and we're heading straight back up to Colorado. So we're gonna be doing some
Wow.
shows out there in the Denver, Colorado area, the 17th and the 18th, and then we're gonna come back, and then the 24th we're gonna be at Billy Bob's there in Fort Worth, and then from there we're gonna be shooting up to Azteca Event Center. I don't know how to say the town name, but it's there in Missouri. That
Okay.
we're gonna be there, and then from there, of course, Cinco de Mayo starts. We'll be in Abilene, Texas, and then back in
Ooh.
Ennis, Texas for their Cinco de Mayo fest over there, man. And just kind of
Wow,
keeps rolling
bro.
from there.
Well, keep for folks, keep up with Grupo Asalto on their Facebooks. Can you give them you all's official Facebook, brother, Instagram and TikTok?
Yeah, man. On Facebook, you can find us under Asalto. And there's a slash to the O. I don't know why Facebook made us do it, but Asalto slash to the O. TikTok, official Grupo Asalto, and Instagram, official Grupo Asalto, as well as Snapchat, official Grupo Asalto. And they can follow our and subscribe to our page on YouTube, which is official Grupo Asalto, as well as our behind the scenes Asalto lifestyle. It's one of our other pages on YouTube where you kind of get to dig into what we do every weekend. We basically just throw a vlog up there every week of
Nice.
the shows that we were at. So it gives people the opportunity to, like I said, man, see who we are and deal
Behind the
with who we
scenes.
are and move along. Yeah, man.
That's awesome, brother. That's awesome. Well, los invitamos a todos because you really want to catch these guys for sure on a live performance. I'm sure that the guys will be willing to take a picture, and if you get some
Absolutely.
swag, sign it for you guys. Jordan, I'm specifically, like I said, brother, I've got the 24th marked on my calendar. That's a little bit special day for me, bro, because that's my wife's birthday.
Oh, nice.
So we're gonna be out there, brother. So after the show, I'll give you my number. Hit me up.
Perfect.
By all means, brother, we can go get a bite to eat or something while we're there. Hey, little Ennis, you're right here with me in the neighborhood too.
Oh,
I'll
nice.
I will I would love to do a live broadcast. We can do a live while we're out there, bro.
Perfect. Absolutely.
And invite everybody out there, man. So saluditos para todos. How about shout outs, Jordan? Any special shout outs you want to make to anybody out there, bro?
Yeah, man. First and foremost, just a shout out to all the families of all the members of Grupo Asalto. We know it's hard to keep up with us, man. And let's be honest and real, right? We don't always make the most money while we're out there, but anybody that helps contribute to the band, we appreciate it. Whether it's by donation or whether it's just by serving their time to help us watch our households, man.
That's it.
A huge shout out to our producer, Mr. Anthony Perez, over at RPZ Music in San Antonio. Grammy award winning engineer. And so shout out to him. Shout out to our executive producer, Efrain Cordova, y toda la familia Cordova allá in Pecos, Texas. They do everything for us, bro. We couldn't be who we are without them and without them having our back. And just once again, man, a huge thank you to our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ for always just leading our way, man. Always just making sure that we're protected, and so far so good at getting us there and back home safely to our kids and our families.
Amen
So
to that, brother.
good, man.
I can't. Yeah, first and more foremost, that's the most important thing, right? Getting you
Yes,
guys
sir.
to and from safely, man. So good for
Absolutely, man.
you, man. Well, lastly, brother, future. What I know your mind's always thinking ahead, brother. Any hints or anything you could drop us as far as I know you're just not going to get done with this, but just knowing your thinking process, brother. What can we expect from Asalto here in the near future, man? As far as any projects, any collabs, or anything that like that in the works, bro?
We do have a few collabs that are gonna be we're supposed to be getting in the studio late March. We have some collabs coming out with some Tejano artists, some Norteño artists that I wouldn't even imagine would give us the time of day to be even able to collab with him. And so
Wow.
we got that coming up. We got some huge shows coming up with bands like De Parranda, Los Morales. Uh,
Oof.
yeah, man,
Wow.
we got Mia 22. We got some pretty big shows coming up, man, and hopefully we can enter some more talks with collabs with some of those guys, man, would be great. And so we're excited, man. We're always working hard trying to beat the next thing and it's kind of hard when you got to follow a band like Grupo Frontera that those guys are just thinking all of it, but it makes it they're breaking the industry wide open for us, man. That's something that I'm very grateful for, because they're definitely shaping the future of the sound that the younger generation's ready to listen to. So they're putting it right there in front of our face, man, and we just got to grab it, and that's
That's
what
a
I plan to
perfect
do.
that's a
That's what
perfect
I
way to
plan to
put
do.
it, brother. That's a perfect way to put it right there. They're actually serving the table, brother. It's up to us to go get it, right? So they're definitely kicking doors open for a lot of us. So appreciate them for the work and roads that they're opening up. But by the same token, opportunities they're knocking, brother. We got to keep up and continue. Don't let that door close. We got to be right behind them to go right through it.
Right.
But
Absolutely.
you guys are right there, man. You guys are on your path.
Thank you.
Jordan, muchísimas gracias, man, for joining us. Like I said, man, I was excited to have you over, bro, because I've been following your music for a little bit, brother. Really enjoy it, man. And
Thank you.
again, si Dios quiere, los vemos on the 24th.
Yes.
And other than that, man, appreciate you jumping in. Anytime you got a new hit or this new group that you're working on, brother, you want to bring them on here, give them a little bit of exposure, bring them on, have them talk about their music. You got a house here with us, brother.
Thank you so much. I truly appreciate it. Once again, thank you so much for having me on and giving me the opportunity just to share my story and to sometimes it's great just to talk about things over and over because they build up in you and you're able to give them out. So
Yeah.
thank you so much for having a platform where we're able to express who we are and just share the things that we've been through, man. It's a great thing knowing that, the viewers and fans are able to see what we've gone through and see where we plan on going. Because it spreads positivity, man. It spreads positivity regardless how you see it, because it's the point of always, like my album says, con amor o sin amor, seguiremos. Whether people are showing you love or they're not, you have to continue for yourself. And that's what I do for myself every day, man. And I know I kind of seem out of it, man, because I just, whenever I was telling you the story, it reminded me, like, damn, March 2nd's right there, and here I go another year. And so I won't lie to you, it kind of threw me out. My head kind of just went into a different space talking
Hey,
about
man.
it.
No
So,
worries,
but
brother.
I do appreciate everything, man. Thank you so much for having me. I really
Absolutely, brother. And thanks for opening up your heart. And echale ganas, no ánimo. So, with that being said, brother, we'll see you, brother. Have a good one.
Thank you so much.
All right.